Saeed Abolhassan Banisadr, Persian, born the 22nd of March 1933, is an Iranian politician, economist and human rights activist. He was the first president of Iran after the 1979 Iranian Revolution abolished the monarchy, serving from the 4th of February 1980 until he was impeached by Parliament on the 21st of June 1981. Prior to his presidency, he was the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the interim government. He has resided for many years in France. Early life and education. Banisadr was born on the 22nd of March 1933 in Hamadan. His father was an Ayatollah and close to Ruhollah Khomeini. He studied finance and economics at the Sorbonne. In 1972, Banisadr's father died and he attended the funeral in Iraq where he first met Ayatollah Khomeini. Banisadr had participated in the anti-Shah student movement during the early 1960s and was imprisoned twice, and was wounded during an uprising in 1963. He then fled to France. He later joined the Iranian resistance group led by Khomeini, becoming one of his hardliner advisors. Banisadr returned to Iran together with Khomeini as the revolution was beginning in February 1979. He wrote a book on Islamic finance, etisad-Tawhidi, an Arabic phrase that roughly translates as the economics of monotheism. Career. Following the Iranian Revolution, Banisadr became Deputy Minister of Finance on the 4th of February 1979 and was in office until the 27th of February 1979. He also became a member of the Revolutionary Council when Banisadr and others left the council to form the interim government. After the resignation of the interim finance minister Ali Ardalan on the 27th of February 1979, he was appointed finance minister by then Prime Minister Mehdi Bazargan. On the 12th of November 1979, Banisadr was appointed foreign minister to replace Ibrahim Yazdi in the government that was led by Council of Islamic Revolution when the interim government resigned. Banisadr was elected to a four-year term as president on the 25th of January 1980, receiving 78.9% of the vote in the election, and was inaugurated on the 4th of February. Khomeini remained the supreme leader of Iran with the constitutional authority to dismiss the president. The inaugural ceremonies were held at the hospital where Khomeini was recovering from a heart ailment. Banisadr was not an Islamic cleric. Khomeini had insisted that clerics should not run for positions in the government. In August and September 1980, Banisadr survived two helicopter crashes near the Iran-Iraq border. During the Iran-Iraq War, Banisadr was appointed acting commander-in-chief by Khomeini on the 10th of June 1981. Impeachment. The Majlis impeached Banisadr in his absence on the 21st of June 1981, allegedly because of his moves against the clerics in power, in particular Mohammad Beheshti, then head of the judicial system. Khomeini himself appears to have instigated the impeachment, which he signed the next day. Even before Khomeini had signed the impeachment papers, the Revolutionary Guard had seized the presidential buildings and gardens, and imprisoned writers at a newspaper closely tied to Banisadr. Over the next few days, they executed several of his closest friends, including Hossein Nawab, Rashid Sadr al-Hefazi and Manoj Massoudi. Ayatollah Hussein Ali Montazeri was among the few people in the government in support of Banisadr, but he was soon stripped of his powers. At the same time, the Iranian government outlawed all political parties, except the Islamic Republic Party. Government forces arrested and imprisoned members of other parties, such as the People's Mujahideen, Fadayan Khalq, Tudor and Paker. Banisadr went into hiding for a few days before his removal and hid in Tehran, protected by the People's Mujahideen. He attempted to organize an alliance of anti-Khomeini factions to retake power, including the PMO and KDP and the Fedayeen organization, while eschewing any contact with pro-Shah exile groups. He met numerous times while in hiding with PMO-I leader Masoud Rajavi to plan an alliance, but after the execution on the 27th of July of PMO-I member Mohammad Reza Sadati, Banisadr and Rajavi concluded that it was unsafe to remain in Iran. In Banisadr's view, this impeachment was a coup d'etat against the democracy in Iran. In order to settle the political differences in the country, President Banisadr had asked for a referendum. Flight and exile. When Banisadr was impeached on the 21st of June 1981, he had fled and had been hiding in western Iran. On the 29th of July, Banisadr and Masoud Rajavi were smuggled aboard an Iranian Air Force Boeing 707 piloted by Colonel Behzad Moettsi. It followed a routine flight plan before deviating out of Iranian ground space to Turkish airspace and eventually landing in Paris. Banisadr and Rajavi found political asylum in Paris, conditional on abstaining from anti-Khomeini activities in France. This restriction was effectively ignored after France evacuated its embassy in Tehran. Banisadr, Rajavi and the Kurdish Democratic Party set up the National Council of Resistance of Iran in Paris in October 1981. However, Banisadr soon fell out with Rajavi, accusing him of ideologies favoring dictatorship and violence. Furthermore, Banisadr opposed the armed opposition as initiated and sustained by Rajavi, and sought support for Iran during the war with Iraq. My Turn to Speak. In 1991, Banisadr released an English translation of his 1989 text My Turn to Speak, Iran, the Revolution and Secret Deals with the U.S. In the book, Banisadr alleged covert dealings between the Ronald Reagan presidential campaign and leaders in Tehran to prolong the Iran hostage crisis before the 1980 U.S. presidential election. He also claimed that Henry Kissinger plotted to set up a Palestinian state in the Iranian province of Khuzestan and that Zbigniew Brzezinski conspired with Saddam Hussein to plot Iraq's 1980 invasion of Iran. In a review for Foreign Affairs, William B. Quant described the book as a rambling, self-serving series of reminiscences and long on sensational allegations and devoid of documentation that might lend credence to Banisadr's claims. Kirkus Reviews called it an interesting though frequently incredible and consistently self-serving memoir and said frequent sensational accusations render his tale an eccentric, implausible commentary on the tragic folly of the Iranian Revolution. Views. Banisadr, in a 2008 interview with The Voice of America in the 29th anniversary of the revolution, claimed that Khomeini is directly responsible for the violence originated from the Muslim world and that Khomeini did turn against his promises, stated in exile following the revolution. In July 2009, Banisadr publicly denounced the Iranian government's conduct after the disputed presidential election. Khamenei ordered the fraud in the presidential elections and the ensuing crackdown on protesters. Quote, he said the government was holding on to power solely by means of violence and terror and accused its leaders of amassing wealth for themselves, to the detriment of other Iranians. In published articles on the 2009 Iranian election protests, he ascribed the unusually open political climate before the election to the government's great need to prove its legitimacy. However, he said the government had lost all legitimacy. In particular, the spontaneous uprising had costed its political legitimacy, and with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's threats leading to the violent crackdown, its religious legitimacy. Personal life. Banisadr lives in Versailles, near Paris, in a villa closely guarded by French police. Banisadr's daughter, Firouzah, married Masoud Rajavi in Paris following their exile. They later divorced and the alliance between him and Rajavi also ended. Books. The Fundamental Principles and Precepts of Islamic Government. Mazda publishes, 1981. My Turn to Speak. Iran, the Revolution and Secret Deals with the U.S. Potomac Books, ISBN 0080405630. Le Coron et le Pouvoir.